Your car insurance bill especially hits a nerve in Michigan, considering we pay some of the highest premiums in the country. We get bombarded with questions from you every time we do a car story or a governor's town hall. Target 8 did some comparison shopping, and wait until you see just how much more you're paying simply because you live in Michigan.
So that's $808 for a year. And then the Jeep.
John Sorensen picked through what he pays every 6 months for car insurance. He's got an old truck and an even older Jeep. He says a perfect driving record, and yet he pays more than $1,600 a year to insure them.
Well, I think it's outrageous. It's very, very expensive.
Sorensen blames two things. One, Michigan is a no-fault state. Two, drivers have to pay into a catastrophic fund that covers lifelong care for seriously injured car accident victims with no cap.
Especially if you're 71 years old and you have a perfect driving record and you're paying these fees that are just unbelievable.
But how unbelievable? Target 8 did the legwork, uncovering just how much Sorensen would pay if he lived somewhere else. One insurance company quoted his 11-year-old truck at $463 for 6 months in Michigan. In Ohio, he'd pay $420. In North Carolina, $397. But check out Iowa, where he'd only pay about $268. And in Idaho, even less, $239 for 6 months. That's about half what he pays to drive in Michigan. Why are the rates in Michigan so high?
Marley, I understand. My office gets those calls on a regular basis.
State Rep Ken Yonker admits Michigan's insurance system needs an overhaul.
And I think what it's going to have to come down to is we're going to get as close as we can. And then we just got to buckle up and make a political vote and look out for the best interests of the people.
To be fair, Target 8 did discover our state is not alone in high premiums. In Oklahoma, we found Sorensen's old truck would run him $549 for a 6-month premium. And in Louisiana, $780. That's roughly $300 more than in Michigan. Still, according to Insure.com, in 2011, Michigan topped the list with the highest insurance rates in the country. Should drivers not be infuriated by that?
They're gonna be, all right? And
is there not something lawmakers can do then?
Yeah. We just got to get this reform package done to start driving that cost down.
The chart in the center shows what is paid today in today's environment.
In fact, just days ago, House Speaker Jace Bolger surprised lawmakers suddenly unveiling a reform proposal. It puts a $10 million cap on payouts from the catastrophic fund, requires insurance companies to reduce policy premiums by a minimum of 10% for at least 2 years, so some families of 4 would save $250. And it creates an authority to investigate and prosecute fraud and abuse. Representative Yonker pushed similar legislation, but couldn't get the votes. Is it stubbornness? Is it laziness? What is it that's keeping this from getting done?
The big thing is the majority of the lawmakers want to protect the integrity of the catastrophic claim, of that piece, because we know what happens if we don't have that is we go into bankruptcy. That's where you go before you can get Medicaid. And that's very hard on families. It's very hard on, very hard on the economy.
What do you say to people who rely on that money?
No, I can understand that. I mean, I have no option. I'm forced to be in this fund, and believe me, I mean, I can understand to be in an auto accident and be permanently disabled for the rest of your life is horrific.
A shot of water.
Brian Culver knows just how horrific it is. He says without the catastrophic fund, he wouldn't be where he is today. He may not even be alive.
You just don't know about it until you need it, and you hope you never do. But all I can tell you is that our rates are higher than some of the other states, but it isn't because of the MCCA charge. That's a very small part of our bill.
And so we are not done with this story. I know many of you still have a lot of questions. You can send them to reportit@woodtv.com, and tomorrow morning on Daybreak, Representative Ken Yonker will be here live in studio with some answers. Then tomorrow at 6, hear why some say catastrophic funds that you pay for actually save you money in the long run.